Arizona TCU. What's TCU doing laying 12 here in this game? 58.5 the total. There's another. You talk about Wilcox is a double-digit favorite. What about Mr. Dykes here for the TCU Horned Frogs?
They got it done against Oklahoma State real quick before you get going. But they are just
Oklahoma State
falling off.
They've called it a season. Mike Gundy's team. I would not read too much into that. Arizona hasn't. They took me to the cleaners last week. Holy fuck. I loved Houston against Arizona last week. Because, look, Arizona was pathetic. They had lost 0-5 straight up, 5 against the spread in a row they had lost. But, again, they had a bye week. Some credit to Brent Brennan. Rallied the troops. Fifita and McMillan finally reestablished that connection on offense. They moved the ball against a pretty Houston defense that had played pretty well a lot this year. And this defense had been shredded, and they completely made a mockery and a joke, quite honestly, out of Zion Chris. He was awful. I can't even say enough how bad Houston's offense was against Arizona. Just terrible in that football game. But credit to Arizona. Again, a team that's struggling, used the bye week to get right, get back on track, and that was their best game in weeks. And if they're anything close to that here, I mean, TCU prior to that one win and cover is a double-digit favorite against Oklahoma State. This team's been awful as double-digit favorites. They lost outright to the same Houston team as double-digit favorites, TCU, that Arizona just beat down. And TCU lost to them, Houston, outright as double-digit favorites earlier this year. Stanford, they didn't cover as favorites. LIU, they didn't cover as favorites. 4.5-point favorites against Texas Tech. They win by 1. They've been a horrible favorite, TCU. So I'm again, just like the last game, give me Arizona. It's the only side I could look at in this game. What do you think here, Connor? Arizona, TCU.
Well, after seeing that game and getting last night, I'm like, Arizona with life. Give me the points. That's all I need to see a little bit from last week off the bye.
Arizona now. There's reason to play hard.
Yeah, and I think they could win. I mean, this TCU defense isn't good. Now their offense still can move the ball. And Arizona's before that they only had one game where they won ATS, but TCU's 3-7. Oklahoma State packed it in. I can't take much from that. With that defense, you want to lay these points, I think is nuts. On the total too, I lean over in this game. I know Arizona, one thing though, they've just been slower. They got it done, and they got turnovers from Houston. Yeah. A couple fumbles, a pick from Chris, that's huge. Hoover will be able to throw it around, and they'll score. But I think this is let Fifita go here. Against this bad defense, secondary for TCU, let them throw it around here, and they're within 10. So, yeah, Arizona here.